Yeah, 2020, I think, made a lot of people realize that, it's crazy out there, and it knocked us on our butts. And, this truck right here is what kept us going in the midst of everything that was going on with our family. But, it's hard. My name is Frankie Rodriguez. I have a 1975 Chevrolet C10. It's a 1975 C10, been completely redone. It started off as a 75, has a custom yellow color that was done in honor of my daughter. She fought cancer, and we did it yellow because yellow became her favorite color at one time. It's TBI injection, 700 R4, all on air ride, US mags, completely stock engine, stock transmission, aftermarket AC, just basically a cool cruiser. I was born and raised here in Morton, Texas. Growing up, my father was a farmer's hand. He worked for the same guy for 30, 40 plus years. I'm one of 5 in my family. I have a sister and the rest are brothers. We grew up not poor, but not having a whole lot, just the essentials. But my mom were hardworking people, and this is where we're at. My best childhood memory with the vehicle is a 1972 Chevy 3/4 ton long bed. It was my dad's farm truck. It actually belonged to my dad's boss man. That was his work truck. I learned how to drive in that truck, learned how to drive a stick shift in that truck. I just liked the overall look of it. That's the whole reason I ended up owning a 1972 Chevy. Those are some of my best memories in that truck. I got interested in, actually, lowriders was my first passion. I found my first lowrider magazine at a local grocery store. I got into lowriders and I thought they were really neat. I liked the hydros, I liked all that. And then I got into lowrider bikes. I actually built a lowrider bike when I was 10, 11. I got it looking pretty cool for a little old farm kid. When I was 12 years old, I kind of put it on the back burner because I wanted a truck. My first vehicle was a 1975 Chevy, the truck right behind me. It was actually one of 2 trucks we bought. It's a long story, but yeah, first truck, yeah, and I love my truck. When I was 13, my father asked me, "What kind of vehicle do you want?" And I told him I wanted a 1972 Chevy. And he looked and couldn't find me one. So me and him went halves on a 1975 and a 1984. One was wrecked in the front, one was wrecked in the back. We took 2 trucks and made one. And one we had the title to was the 75, and I always liked the 75, but I prefer the 84, 86 front clip, and that's the reason it looks the way it looks. The condition of the trucks was pretty bad, and throughout, I started around age 12, just started accumulating parts. I used everything that was good off the 75 and off the 84, and I combined them on one frame. Since then, it's a complete turnaround. It was basically a truck, I guess, built in my father's eyes. My dad didn't believe in lower trucks. He said they were useless, but it was pretty cool. I mean, I love my truck then, like I do now, but it was completely different. It was a totally different animal. My motivation was really wanting to have the cool truck. I wanted kids to say, "Ooh, look at that truck." And there were so many in this town. I have several friends that had square bodies, older friends that had square bodies, and there were several that were so cool. And I wanted to be that guy with that cool truck. And I think I accomplished it finally, this many years later, but I think I finally accomplished it. So the yellow on this truck, my daughter got diagnosed with brain cancer in February of 2020. About a month before that, right? She had told us that her favorite color was yellow. We don't know where that came from. She was having symptoms they thought was Bell's palsy. I had taken the truck. We had already talked to some friends that do my paint work about taking the truck in to get painted, and she started treatment. So of course I couldn't afford to get it painted. My buddies were like, "Just bring it, we'll take care of it, man, whatever." So she was doing a little bit better throughout. She got a shunt and they biopsied her tumor, and she started doing a little bit better. So within this little time she was doing good, we ended up taking it to my buddies in Meadow, and they started doing the body work and stuff on it. And I couldn't figure out what color to go with because I can't make up my mind ever. One day I just thought, so her favorite color is yellow, well, let's do yellow. That's how the yellow came about. It's supposed to be a gold, but every picture you find is yellow. Gold is for pediatric cancer. That kind of goes back to the wheels on it. They're US mags with the gray centers. Gray is the color for brain cancer, and that's the color behind it. I never in a million years thought I'd paint a car yellow, but that's the whole story behind the color. Unfortunately, she battled cancer heroically till March 7th of 2021. It changes forever. It's one of those deals that nobody should have to go through. The truck debuted. Everybody got to see it the day we buried her, so she didn't get to see the truck. But she really wasn't attached too much to this truck. My 72 is what she called her favorite truck. And her daily driver is an 03 SS clone that I built, and she said that was her truck. So these 3 trucks that we own right now will never go anywhere. They're it. The red one's hers, the 72 was her favorite, and this one was done in her honor.
The 72 was in honor of our other baby that passed away.
Yeah.
So that one was already taken. So
it was already taken. So yeah, I built that one in 06. Started in 06 to keep my mind, basically, like I did this one, just to keep me busy, keep my mind busy, to not give up. And that's what I use this for, is a way not to give up. Yeah. And 2006, while she was pregnant, we ended up finding out that the amniotic fluid was disappearing. And after several months, they did some tests and found out that he had what they call Potter syndrome. And Potter syndrome is a disease that where the kidneys aren't fully developed, and it doesn't allow him to expel. So he could drink, but he couldn't use the restroom, and that's how the babies are formed. And there was really nothing they could do about it. He had like a 1% chance of living, which was like nothing. And unfortunately, he died June the 6th of 2006. My 72 was my way out for him, as with her support, I actually traded a Camaro for this truck that I've always wanted. I started working on it and actually went into debt to get the truck where I wanted it, and all with her permission, of course, to do this, just to try to stay sane, just to try to keep my mind right. So from the tragedy of my daughter's passing, we ended up starting a TEAMCRISTA Foundation. So what we do is we have a car show, an annual car show. We hosted a race this year, and all proceeds go to kids with life-threatening diseases. We also started, some guys that are associated with us started a go-kart team, and they started a go-kart, TEAMCRISTA Racing with go-karts. So that got adopted into the go-kart deal, and some of our members are heavy into drag racing, and they started a TEAMCRISTA Racing automotive racing there in Hobbs, and it's kind of gotten a little bigger from that. There's actually 5-6 cars with TEAMCRISTA logos on them. They all race in honor of TEAMCRISTA Foundation. We help these kids that have life-threatening diseases. Matter of fact, last night we went in and handed some money to a little girl there in Lubbock fighting leukemia, osteosarcoma, excuse me, and she's battling this for the 3rd time. And we went and gave them money, and they were really happy. They said that it came at a good time. So that's what we do, and we've helped 10 or 12 kids now with stuff like that, and we've helped out quite a bit. So that's what the TEAMCRISTA Foundation represents. Most of the work is done by me. All the air ride, engine swaps, stuff like that, mechanical, anything suspension related, is all done by me, except for the paint work. I got friends that do that. Big boy cousins out of Meadow, Texas. But other than that, I mean, everything I learned on my own. Of course, it took a lot of trial and errors, but I finally think I got it down. It's all pretty well done here in my shop. Most what I do here is I work on cars for customers. That's mainly, I'm an auto tech. But all the custom stuff that I get to do on my stuff and other people's stuff is mainly done on the side. I can't make a living here in little old Morton doing it, but most of the stuff that I do here is just mechanic work. I'm pretty fortunate. I have customers from New Mexico. We come from way out of town, just a little Morton, for me to work on stuff. There's a truck behind me. It's a 65 Chevy. We go to Vernon every year to Summer's Last Blast. He's seen the work we done to my truck and another buddy of his, and he brought it all the way from Vernon for us to bag, do some engine work and stuff. In the past, we've had a friend that drove all the way from Kansas and let me cut up a almost brand new pickup to throw on air ride because he liked what I did. I'm honored. It feels good, and there's several more I could do, but I'm just so busy at times that it's hard. It's hard to keep up, especially when you're a one-man show, and every once in a while you have a little help, and it's humbling to know that people think that about you, you know. This truck gets taken to car shows. We did quite a few last year and this year. We drive it. It gets dirty. It's been in rain. It's been in a hailstorm actually, and thank God nothing happened to it. But yes, it's a part-time trailer queen because we don't like driving it far, but it has been driven to Lubbock. You know, it's had some miles put on it. I don't daily drive it, but I drive it quite often. But I do drive it from time to time, and probably gets driven a handful of times every month. So yeah, it's hard.
It was actually in a car show today.
Car show today, yeah. Most of my family is our car guys. I have a younger brother he's got a little pickup he's trying to work on. My other brother, he does stuff like I do. He actually has his own truck he's working on for his wife as well, and he's got a pretty nice truck. The only one that's not would be my older brother. He's really not. He's about going into car shows and stuff, but he doesn't really have anything. But my sister as well. She's owned a hot rodder too, her and her husband. But yeah, we're considered a car family. Yeah, big time. I own a lot of cars that I've built actually. I have my 75, which I've had for a while. I got a 72 Chevy. I have a 99 two-door Tahoe. I have a 03 Hummer. I have a 98 Trans Am that's ours. According to her, it's hers. I have a 73 Blazer. That's a project. Matter of fact, the parts for that are on that trailer.
Frankie's truck.
Yeah, my son's got a 93 Chevy pickup step side on air ride that was given to him for graduation. He still has it. He's actually building a dually himself. I gave him a 75 dually, and he's currently taking auto body and SPC. Matter of fact, he might throw paint on it this week, but that's gonna be his build. Yeah, we own several cars that we built, and we're happy when we drive the crap out of them. We actually drive them. Driving this truck makes me feel humbled. It reminds me that life's too short. Spend time with your kids, spend time with your family. It goes by really fast, and our lives were turned upside down. And you know, not just this truck, my 72. You know, it reminds me hard work and dedication get you something cool. But you know, also, you know, when the family's involved, and knowing, you know, that my kid and my daughter both, you know, were into it because, you know, we went to car shows and stuff. You know, it's one of those deals where it's you know, I'm proud. I'm proud of what God has allowed me to do. Well, anybody watching, I would like to say, you know, live life to the fullest. Don't take life for granted. Cherish your kids. Cherish your family. That's pretty well the way I live now. I try to make the most of everything, whether it's bad or good. I try not to complain as much. It's hard. It's hard, especially when you feel like the world's on your shoulders, and I can truly feel that. But I believe that one day, if we're get right with God, I believe I'll see my daughter, and I believe the way to do it is to live life that way. Pray every day, and give thanks to God for everything, the little things.
There's a lot of people that come up to him and say, "Oh, you're lucky that you got this
Oh,
truck."
yeah,
It's not luck. It's hard work.
Yeah.
And I know that for a fact because I've spent so many weekends without him because he's working. You know what I mean? It's not something that just comes and falls in your lap. If you don't have the money to fork over to buy something like this, you got to build it, and it takes lots of time, lots of hard work,
Yeah.
and lots of money.
Yeah, and you
Right.
spend, you know, and that's one thing, you know, I'll go back to cherish your family. You know, I told her, I said, you know, I was always working on everybody else's stuff. And I told her, you know what, it's time to take some time to myself. And I did. You know, I accomplished my 72, and it's about 98% done. There's still some stuff that needs to be done. This one's about 95% done. But I told her, you know, my goal was to get these trucks done so we can start enjoying them. And unfortunately, I got the trucks done. I can enjoy it, but my daughter's not here with us. And it sucks. But it's one of those deals where you can either keep going or you can give up. And one thing about that little girl is, I don't know where she got it from, and she has little notes everywhere. We still have them. Never give up. Never give up. She always used to say that, never give up. And it's, she changed our lives, and she's changed the lives of this community. And a lot of people tell us, you know, and it feels good that people say that, but at the end of the day, no matter how many times people tell you something, it still hurts. and it hurts really bad, and it's hard. My name is Frankie Rodriguez. This is my ride. This is my story.